Welcome back everyone to part 4 of this Maxi LS rebuild. In this episode we're going to make a new intake for it, mount the exhaust, and we're going to bend or modify the pedal arm to clear it. With the pipe tight, the rear mount doesn't line up, so I can make some kind of adapter plate or weld the tab on and drill a hole, but this doesn't line up, so thanks a lot, MLM. Now we're going to try the Treats chrome pipe. Put the gasket on the header. Put the screwdriver in the rear. And put the nuts on. I always tighten on the head first so you know exactly where the pipe should be mounted in the rear. This exhaust pipe does line up in the rear, so that's good. But there's a little gap between it, so we're going to have to put a washer or a spacer between it. You can see the gap right there. I have a whole jar of spacers from throughout the years that I saved for situations like this. I didn't have any spacers that were quite right, but I did have a nut that fit perfect. Okay, pipe is mounted. There is one issue. The pedal hits, so you can't pedal the moped. So we are going to have to bend the pedal arm out to clear that. It's really easy to bend this out. You just use a torch, you bend it this way and then you bend it that way. It's still straight, just comes out a little bit further. But I'm gonna wait and talk to the owner before I do that. Owner wants to make this clear the pipe. So we are either gonna bend this or weld another clamp to the end and push it out. First thing we gotta do is take this off. It's a 10 millimeter, so remove this guy. And removing this is really difficult because it's been in there for 40 years. So we need to hit it with a punch because we do not want to hurt those threads. Slide this out. I have this old pedal crank from some old bike and the pedal's been welded on. So this thing is trash. So it's a perfect candidate to cut this off and use this. So I have this piece off the old pedal arm. I'm going to weld it to the current one. And that'll push it out, and I think it'll be far enough to clear the pipe. That looks pretty good. I'm just gonna clean it up a little with a wire wheel, and then I'll try it out. And it clears by a long shot. So that's great. The nice benefit of doing it this way was that we don't have to bend the pedal arm and make it shorter. So when you pedal it, it still pedals normal. The left side is reverse thread, so do remember that. Even though I cleaned this weld up and it looks good, it will rust. So I'm going to paint a little Pentrol on it, and that will basically clear coat it and keep it from rusting. And I actually think it was J-Bot that turned me onto this stuff. I believe he clear coated a whole frame with it. I was going to install the carb next, but when I went to test fit it, it doesn't fit. It does fit without the air filter. The carburetor does fit without the air filter, and it's a little bit sideways, but you can't remove the carburetor without removing the intake, which is pretty annoying for jet changes. And without an air filter, since this is a piston port, you're going to get a lot of gas that blows back. So you're going to get gas on your foot and leg, so your leg will always smell like gas after riding it. So I'm going to maybe make a new intake or talk to the owner about something else. So this intake doesn't work. I gotta make a new one. I'm gonna try to cut up this exhaust pipe and make one out of this header. I'm gonna use this pipe cutter on the header and cut it off. Alright. Now we have a nice forward-facing intake. I will have to Dremel these open just a little bit. Be sure to blow it out really well. Alright, we can have forward-facing intake. Put this guy right like there. So unfortunately, the header does not fit the carb. It's just a little bit too big. But fortunately, I have these little sleeves that fit perfect. I can weld to the intake to make the size proper. It's not a beautiful TIG weld like Tyler Augustine or crank pipes, but I think it should work for this. I'm going to make sure that this is flat by hitting it on the belt sander real quick. Alright, let's install this. We'll put on the gasket, put on the intake, do some lock washers. I always use new nuts. The carb on, clamp it down. There we go. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned.